Got us as Amarak as Ali Shaman finally get a chance to play. On the team we got Seabark, Azabumkin, Kargath, Lathvoka, as well as Mash. Mishmash of the Paladin. We're going to be Ranner's immediate darkness as he tried to go for a bit of a rush towards Amarak, trying to go for a knockback, but doesn't quite connect. It looks like he was able to veer around the back into a Sigil of Fear, trying to see if he can go maybe a go versus Amarak into a Eye into Follow. Does see himself a big setup. That's going to be a stun totem, trying to see if he can disrupt Rannerus. Does have a trick for this one, trying to break out of it. Mage to take down the totem not letting you close the gap, trying to see if he can break out of it anywhere possible, but even Vengeful Retreat, the CC immunity of Vengeful Retreat doesn't even let you break out of that one at all. Amarak got lightning in his hands, is ready to go. Trinkets out of that thing a little bit late though. And now he's actually, now that he trinketed, sets himself up for a stun by the Demon Hunter. As Ranner is picking up the Demonic Soul, slowed down quite a bit by that knockback though. Once he get back over there, Amarak does have knockbacks, roots, and everything. So as long as he uses the Frost Shock, Earth Shock, roots with the knockbacks that he have, he may be okay. Stormkeeper at the ready as Ranner's does give himself immunity, ends up setting at least one of those lightning bolts into, actually both of them, into the face of Ranner's. That is not great for Amarak. Does have some survivability with the Guardian though. He can get himself a little bit of self-healing as the roots do keep coming through. Knockback does end up rooting Rannerus again. Lava Burst to follow. This is where Rannerus needs to make sure to get an interrupt once in the blue moon. There's Light Elastic comes out. Static Totem, he does have himself in prison for a second, trying to fly up in the air. The Static Totem does not let you go anywhere at all. You have to take down the totem whenever you get a chance. Amarak trying to go for a bit of a setup. This is going to be yet another interrupt. Trying to go for a stun versus Ran, trying to get himself a bit more damage into another hunt. Does get him rooted for just a second, able to go for a bit of a blade dance. I think Airstrike should do it. It looks like he was able to take him out fairly handily. With Mishmash going to be up next as the stun comes out, trinkets out of that Fear Sigil into a stun right after, playing as a Retribution Paladin with a one-hander and the shield. Blasted out Rannerus, not really letting him play the game much. He's going to go for more judgments. There goes the Spore Cloak, trying to activate a little bit more survivability for Ran, and I think it's just going to be over as Mishmash does end up going for a Justica's finisher. Conan up next with a Blind to Follow. Going to be Searing Glare. The next two attacks by Conan are going to be missing into a War Stomp. I think try to go maybe for Disarm onto Mishmash potentially. It's hard to tell because Disarm, it is a cooldown, but it's not tracked in the UI at the top right. This is going to be Reflect for Conan. End up reflecting the Judgment, I want to say, because he did reflect something, but it wasn't a Hodge or anything important. Mish getting hit with a bit of a stun, as it's going to be a Conan with the Judgment. Does end up going for a bit of a Rage Regeneration. Could get himself a lot of survivability here. But Mish so far has not had any issue holding his own, does not even pop a immunity or anything. You see himself a little bit more resource to take down Conan, as Conan got himself a bit of a reflect, but at this point Conan right now out of defenses. Mish just needs a couple more globals, disarm for just a second. Disarming the shield as well as the one-handed sword, but Paladins don't necessarily even need a weapon. As you can see, man's literally running with a one-hander. Doesn't even matter right now. I'm just trying to get some more damage to Conan, take him out and finish him off really quickly. Looks like down on cooldowns for a moment. No more Crusade at the time being. Does get himself a wall to follow as it's going to be Reflect for Conan. Conan may be able to get some cooldowns back here. Mish, unless he gets himself another final wreck, maybe he can make some kind of a play. Stun by Conan. Maybe if he can go for an interrupt onto that Searing Glare, maybe then he can make a play. If he can interrupt that, next two attacks are going to miss. That is even healing attacks too. Bloodthirsts are going to end up just missing. Every single one of them. Leap it away for just a second. I think left away from the final wreck too. Unless Mish was able to get a debuff on him last second. He is going to reflect the stun back at Mish. Mish does not have a way to break out of that one all that easily. But the stun was very, very short with all the DRs from Stormbolts though. By the looks of it. Just someone to Mish for just a second. Conan got some cooldowns. Mish got himself full Crusade. Could be anyone's game. I think Mish has a bubble at the ready, so you could take him out any moment right now. Conan does end up tricking. I'm not really sure what, but Mish does end up slamming down right through him. With Lockyator gonna be up next as an Affliction Warlock, trying to see if he can make a bit of a play himself. Full dots on the Mish, does have a bubble. I don't know if he's got a bop or if he's got a spell ward. Mortal onto the blind, doesn't go for trinket, amping up all of his dots. Mish will have to press a bubble or something here. There goes the bubble. I don't think he's playing spell ward, otherwise he would have pressed it. So for Lockyator, if that's the case, then knowing that information, all he needs to do is press Mish. Press him a little bit more with dots, and you'll be golden. Mish looking for a bit of recovery on his own. 44 minutes into the duel, almost 5 minutes into the duel, as we hit on the 21% dampening. The healing that Mish needs here is going to get weaned off little by little. Does go for the stun, did go for a rebuke. I think was able to connect with one of the dots of Lockyator. Maybe big wake up actions, does go in for the stun, get himself a little bit of survivability, forward to follow, trying to go for a bit of drain left to recover some health. Mish with the shield of Edis, Mortal sent in, Lockheed needs to maximize his damage right now. Soul Rot and everything is available. Now is a perfect time to get some damage in here as Mish got himself shield of Edis. It is going to end up popping off for a second. But he's trying to get himself a little bit of survivability. Hand of Freedom, ready to go, but Lockheed doesn't reflect the Hodge. That is so good. Mish does end up removing the Yue some way, somehow. I'm not even sure how he does it, but he does end up silencing himself and takes a bit of damage from that Yue. Wait, Judgments, that's what it is. You're removing them through Judgments. I was going to say for a second, how'd you remove it? I forgot that is a PvP talent. But you do remove like one of your magic effects, right? Only one of them. And I think, I guess previously he removed like Corruption or something. Or maybe, Warlock actually won't play like the other dot. It was third one. There's a Corruption, there's Agony, there's of course Yue, there's Soul Rot, but there's also like, what's it called? It's like a green hand looking dot. Oh, Jake, help me out here. You know Warlock a lot better than I do. What is that one dot that I almost never use? Gonna be a stun onto Lockhater, trying to see if he can get himself a bit of survivability. Gonna be a dark back for Lockhater with a reflect. Maybe he gets to live this portrait fall and Mish does have himself quite a bit of survivability. Mortal sent in weakness. No, not that one. The other one. It is the green hand claw looking thing. The silence on the Mish does get himself a setup. Oh, it does end up taking down the Affliction Warlock. What's it called, man? It's not it's like the one that leeches health of the enemy. It's a PvP talent. Oh no, it's a normal talent in the middle row between the Extended Corruption. Immolate? No, not that one. It's gonna be a big. How do you live that? Hold on, Mish. Do you survive that? What is that? He literally survived the Hellfire itself. But looks like the Immolation take him out. Cypher Life? I think it is Cypher Life. I think it's the one. Yeah. Everybody in the chat named every other dot except for Cypher Life, except Jake did get one. But yeah, the one that looks like a green hand. I do understand why you look at Immolation and you're like, yeah, that's a hand. But it's like a red hand. It's like covered in fire. But I guess it makes sense. Big Caseboat's out for Diabolicals. Stun onto Lathaborkum. Trying to see if he can survive as the augmentation. As the portals are ripping right through his defenses. May need more survivability right now. Trying to get himself a big cast. Caseboat does connect. Lathaborkum's going to take a lot of damage. Living Flames barely keeping him alive. Trying to keep himself afloat here. But his second misses last second. Bonzo fell. Does it connect? It doesn't connect. It was so close. Very well done. Judgment Dispel gets out. That's painful. So they used to have it where Judgment dispelled all of your magic effects. But now it's only one. So he's either dispelling Corruption, Yue, or any of the other magic effects from Warlock. I imagine Succubus CC also gets dispelled. And I imagine also Sacrifice Life, if he's playing that, dispelled. Big Soulfire. Does that live it? He does get himself a shield last second to survive it. Does he survive past this, though? He got himself a little bit of survivability. Augmentation does have quite a bit of healing, even though its damage isn't all that high or a little bursty on average. It can get some survivability, but looks like Daya may just have him. It's going to be Infernal, trying to see if he can take him out. Going to be Lath with the cheat death. It barely keeps him alive. Immolate. Oh, does end up taking him out. Looks like Daya is able to claim Team 1. Taking their souls one after another, as there's going to be a bunch of traps everywhere. It's Kargath. Get himself the Marksmanship Hunter play. Aim shot around the corner. Big hit. Big death chakram too. Rapid fire right after. That's a lot of damage. Zaya is taken. He can't even control it. He may need to go for some kind of healing. Does go for Warlock Hellstone. Mordecall into Kargath. Definitely needs to establish CC. Bonzo with a second CC. It's a breaking. Let's see if her ability to follow. Casbolt. Maybe he connects. Casbolt. Ooh. Goes in, but the Turtle Shell stops him for just a second. Trying to see if he can pour Kargath out of the way. The Shot of Fury comes out. Kargath does end up just keeping the pressure on until the very bitter end. Sensei, I don't know what just happened, but the man may have put a trinket in a wrong spot for himself. Trinketed out of nowhere while he's popping cooldowns. So that's definitely going to send him back a little bit here. If Kargath gets any kind of CC freezing trap, yeah. Sensei definitely might need to check a macro or two. This is going to be yet another route. Kargath is actually able to get himself a little bit of pot shot damage onto Sensei. Oh, I also like the bow that she got going on, how it gives you like this different arrow, this blue arrow. That looks good. I think it's a Lego, right? It's going to be Karma for Sensei. Karma onto one of the pets, I think, of Kargath, isn't it? Or just in Kargath himself. Barely any health. Wait, kill shot. Oh, wait, who won that one? Hold on a second. Kargath 2. Sensei. Oh, Kargath won that one. No way. He got 2. Mesh with 3 as a sword and board. Diabolic is picking up 2. And then Kargath with 2 more. Well done. Well done, boys.